Okay.
What up, guys? Welcome to Magic Rising. Sorry for the late start. Just waiting on everyone to get here. We're getting pretty late into the story, so let's just sort of do a recap. And to do that, we've got this handy project sheet. The story started with kidnappings along the Hudson River. Um, the main characters investigated the nature of the kidnappings and found out that all of the victims are magical. They investigated magic and found out that there was this person, Mortimer Reed, who is a rival to their maybe patron would be a decent word, Jason. They learned more about Jason and Mortimer and ended up learning about a lot of things, a lot of crazy shit, and now they're working towards the downfall of Mortimer Reed, who is trying to rip New York City out of the physical world and create his own private pocket dimension, um, which is generally something to be displeased about. So, when we last left off, I believe we were actually staying the night at
Yeah, we were.
the
Yep, Julian's, yeah.
yeah, at Julian's place, the God, what's that? Order of Magi establishment. So morning rolls around, y'all wake up and I assume head out into the common room. Dio is not with you for whatever reason.
Family affairs.
Probably went to go throw a rock at someone again.
Cause some chaos. But yeah, you're in the Order of Magi building.
What are we looking for? I don't. It's been like 2 weeks, so I don't recall exactly on where we left off. I know we were like messing around with orcs when we went to this.
We found out how to kill a noble, therefore Mortimer,
Mm-hmm.
and we set out to find his headquarters or lure him out, since we know how to kill him.
Yeah.
Gather our forces and our knowledge and kill him.
So is that-
Unfortunately, all of our forces aren't here.
Is that where we're set on right now? Finding him and destroying him.
That is the general goal. Is on the project sheet the downfall of Mortimer Reed. So that's what you're working towards.
Okay.
And to that end, you have learned that he is soldiers powered by artifacts. You have artifacts of your own. You know how to kill a noble, and you know that the factory where he creates his artifacts is on a ley line.
And if I remember correctly, we left the map with someone, with Julian?
Yes, yeah, you left the map with Julian, and you were giving him time to perform a ritual to mark the ley lines in New York City on it.
Yeah. Alright, so in the common room, I sort of look around and just point at a random guy and, hey, where's Julian? You gotta talk to him.
Yeah, you find one of the acolytes, and he says, Master Julian is recovering after his ritual. He is understandably exhausted at this point in time. However, you can he left the map for you, and you can go pick that up. Follow me, and he sort of leads you off. Leads you off to a side room, and there's a pedestal that has the map sitting on it.
It's awfully ceremonial. Or who am I to talk? I haven't seen these guys before.
Yeah.
Alright. I guess I walk over to the map and pick it up and bring it over to the others so we can sit it down and look at it.
All right. Yeah. So you pick up the map, and he has marked the ley lines on it for you. So,
Still within New York City, right?
yes. Yeah, the ley lines within the city. So let me do that. One. App.
All right. Are we not? Okay.
There. There. There.
How many are there?
There. Those are the ones he's marked for you.
Yeah.
Because the acolyte says that he had determined that the factory had to be somewhere on the lower side of Manhattan.
Okay. All right. So is that? Are we supposed to look for the intersection of those places?
No, those are the intersections.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they all should be investigated.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you have already investigated the one in the lower left, and you recognize that.
Lower left, that would be Fort, right?
Yeah. That's on the shore. Albatross has been there.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
The
the
OP crew.
that's we're heading to first.
No, you've already been there. It's outdoors, so that pretty much eliminates it as a spot for a factory.
All right. So we move on to the one next to the shipyards.
Sure.
Yes. Sounds good to me.
So yeah, I mean, I guess you go to leave the Order of Magi.
Mm-hmm.
How are you planning on getting there? Are you planning on walking or taking a cab or?
Cam seems like the best bet. Fastest.
Yeah, I think I want to
Elijah.
call Elijah, the OP Uber driver.
So,
Okay. So you call up Elijah. He is able to swing by and stops outside. He's, as per usual, very annoying. But you know, you're used to his shtick by now, and you're just sort of able to hop in his cab and tell him where you want to go.
All right.
And he takes you down to the seaport.
Get there, hop out of the cab, thank Elijah, and looking around, what do we see?
All right. Well, you are once again. It's a little bit later in the day. So the sun is starting to set, and it's starting to be a little bit of a darker evening. You are greeted to sec. Set it up real quick. This. So yeah, you're down by the shore. the sun is starting to set, so it's not really evening, but it's darker than the daytime.
Mhm.
And yeah, he just sort of drops you off like on like the street, but there's sort of like docks and restaurants and stuff. It's not really docks, is like historically they were docks, but now it's just sort of a seaside area for restaurants, etc.
Okay.
Let's get
can
some
I?
dinner.
I know Albatross would like that.
No, that's Fang. That's
Oh,
Fang.
oh man, my bad. But I want to check underwater first. Can I do that? Can I just use like since I have 5 points in my thing? Can I just use like a 4 point shadow magic, like little fishies, fast
Sure.
fishies, to go underwater and see what's up?
Sure, yeah. Okay, so and that's not costing you any will at all, right?
Well, I guess not. They're just fish for me to like.
Well,
Spot.
yeah. Okay, so and what are you looking for?
Any sign that there might be some activity in the area, like magic activity or anything unusual under the water?
Okay. Yeah, you send your fish down, and you have them start searching the area for anything unusual. They don't notice anything immediately, and so you sort of expand their search, and you realize it's going to take them some time to search the entire area.
Okay. So let's get some dinner.
Oh yeah, I'm down. Sushi. I love it.
Okay.
Sushi by the seaside.
Yeah, you stop, you find a sushi place, and you stop in for food.
Okay.
Um,
Now that we got a breather, guys, we're kind of like one man down. We're like, there's just three of us, and we're usually the supports, to be honest. So
Yeah, kind of.
I'm just sort of thinking about strategy here. I know we usually gung ho.
Gun ho. I mean, for now we could just like try to surprise
Find the
him,
location.
and
Yeah, that is true. He doesn't really know we're coming. I mean,
Yeah.
realistically, he kind of does, but as far as we know, he doesn't know we're coming.
all right, so as you're eating dinner, your fish continue their search. They don't really find anything underwater, and they're just sort of like they inform me that like yeah, there's a ley line here. It's not really doing anything right now. It's
All right.
it's dormant, I guess would be the word.
Okay, you guys, my fishies have done like looking for stuff, and they say that there's nothing really here. Julian was right in informing us that there was a ley line here, so at least we have that as reliable information that the other two things marked on the map are also ley lines, but nothing's really happening here. So we should move on, maybe.
Yeah.
where to? Where to? You guys want to try another location?
Maybe the one in the
Yeah.
center.
All right. You return to the map and take another look.
What do you guys think?
Let's go to, well, the closest place from the shipyards would be Coilares or Coilares Sud, I think. Is
Yeah,
what it
yeah.
says.
So that is
That's already been looked at, I think. Oh no.
No. You were
one
at the ship mart.
Other side.
All right, let's go to the hook.
All right. So
It's not within walking distance, right?
no, that would be kind of far away.
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to call up Elijah again?
Let's do that.
All right, you
no.
call him up. He says, "You guys are earning pretty good frequent flyer miles," and he shows up pretty quickly outside the sushi place where you
Hey,
are.
Albatross is here. Oh yeah.
Well,
Oh, he changed the profile picture changed. So I thought it was
Nah.
He was just hitting on a waitress while Elijah was on his way.
So you get in his cab, you tell him where you want to go. It turns out it's somewhere in the Lower East Side, and he gets you there pretty quick. You're in pretty much a residential area. Apartments and of various kinds, brownstones, etc. But you don't really, nothing like pops out as like, oh, this is obviously where you need to go. It's just a residential area.
Well, that in itself is pretty suspicious. But I'm guessing, I don't know. What about Rem? What can you like see anything unusual? Hyper focus something?
I guess I could put use some of my points as well into that and see if I can notice anything.
Yeah,
See if
maybe
it takes me anywhere.
maybe you could focus on the map and use it to sort of pinpoint the location.
Okay. I'm really getting into my character, you know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, what can I find from focusing like on this?
How many points of hyperfocus are you using?
3 or 4. I don't think I need to use too much
Okay.
for this one. It's not combat or anything.
Yeah. And that's just a base level, right? Like that doesn't cost you anything. No, it
Yeah,
definitely
I
doesn't.
already have a bunch.
Yeah, you have a 5.
Yeah.
You could actually probably, you should just use up to 5 because you can do that for free. Like,
Okay,
it doesn't-
yeah. I forgot I put so many points into that one thing.
Yeah, so 5 is gonna do something productive. So you focus on this map, and it just like mentally you just zoom in, and you sort of overlay, like you pull out your phone and you have Google Maps on it, and you just like look left and right, and you're just like here, and you're like tracing just like the edge of the islands. And obviously it's kind of difficult to do because this is a map from the like from about 200 years ago, so it's not entirely accurate. And furthermore, there are actually a lot of places that are landfill. But eventually you're able to figure it out, and you find you lead everyone to sort of a little park in the center of a residential block.
Okay.
The park has it's sort of like a few blocks of flowers around a little fountain in the center. There's some benches and stuff. The fountain itself is actually very flat. Like it's a circle, maybe about 10 feet in diameter, and in the center there's just a spring of water. But it's the sort of fountain that like kids will play in, and parents will have to go and get them out of. There are coins on the ground in the fountain, and it's actually yeah. And you can tell that the ley line is in the center of this fountain.
Okay. Well, it's like nighttime around this time, right? Or is
Yeah. It's probably like 8:30.
Okay. So should we wait for people to like not be there and see what we can find in the center?
I mean, there aren't really that many people around you. There's like 1 or 2.
Okay. So
Just
I
sort of
guess-
pedestrians walking through.
Mhm. What direction do you guys want to go from here? Albatross and Arena?
Later.
Later.
I don't know. I mean, I think
Um,
we could look under and above the fountain, I guess, see if there's anything going on. So obviously, like, the fountain isn't a factory, but maybe it has something under it.
Okay. Should I do the fishy thing again, except this time with like police-sized things, so that they can like get into the nooks and crannies of the fountain?
Sure.
You could try and summon a fish that could go down the pipe, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, because otherwise it's just sort of cement.
All right. Well, I was imagining one of those like marble fountains, not.
Oh no! It's like a flat basin.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, I'll do that. Moderate-sized fish for the
Mhm.
pipe.
Oh, nice.
5 points into that.
All right, you send a fish down the pipe. It struggles. And you the fish is like it sort of starts to swim down the pipe and it's getting somewhere, but it's eventually pushed back not by magic or any sort of barriers or defense mechanisms, but just by sheer water pressure.
All right, then I'll make it stronger. I'll
All right.
enforce the buddy with like 2 points of will.
You
Maybe.
funneled 2 points of will into the fish, and it is able to overcome the water pressure. It wiggles its little fishy tail, and it swims down the pipe of the fountain, and eventually, it just sort of it keeps swimming and it keeps swimming, and then it pops out the side of the fountain out of the drainer, and like in the air and just sort of lands in your hands.
And it found nothing.
It says that, you know, the same thing that your last fish said, that like there's a lane line here, but it's dormant. It's not doing anything. The fish does it sort of like lifts its head up and it sort of like stretches its fins out a little bit and it says, "But that was a nice swim."
I'm glad for you, buddy. Now get back in there.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
So both of them are dormant
Yeah.
so far.
2 left.
Yeah, 2 left.
Might as well go to the closest one, which
Yep.
is either
In
Boren
between.
Lane.
It's Bowery, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you once again call Elijah, and this time he takes you to Bowery. It's a large, wide street that just sort of goes up through the center of the city, right? Like it just is this lane that goes north and south. The ley line is in the center of the road. It like in an intersection.
Okay, so that try
There's
thing there.
cars.
Well, it's 200 years old though. So.
Yeah. Arena would probably notice that there's a subway entrance nearby.
Okay. Heightened senses. Yeah, I'd probably notice. Okay, so the last time we were at a ley line, well, the last 2 times, both of like, I went underground sort of with both of my. I'm trying to argue going into the subway to my fellows. So I think we should go check out that subway since it's also underground. Maybe it's closer to the source of the power and the ley line.
Sure.
Seems good enough to me.
All right, you so I guess you head down into the subway. I'm sure everyone, because as far as I know, every character is native to New York, so you have like a metro pass and you get in no problem. And as you're walking through the subway, and Rem is sort of leading everyone because he's like keeping that mental map, right? He's like, okay, the intersection was here and the subway entrance is over here, and we walked down in this direction, so we're going to turn left here, which brings us back towards that intersection. And you're sort of like guiding everyone just sort of on your sense of direction, trying to get back to where that intersection is. And as you're doing that, Albatross, because of your elemental attunement, you can just sort of feel that the earth around you is
Enchanted.
uncomfortable.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, I will alert them to my gut feeling of what's going on. And that something's happening down here that isn't normal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
And then from there we
Do
can.
we keep on walking? Just keep on walking, or
yeah, you keep on walking, and as you walk, Albatross, I think you start to feel more and more uncomfortable. Well, I guess as an elementalist, right, you're sort of connected to all of the elements. You could maybe like pay less attention to Earth, but if you don't do that, it's gonna start like getting to you.
Okay.
Because the Earth,
Then I
the
think
Earth spirits are like basically screaming.
Ah!
I'll try and just like play with a little bit of fire in my hand or whatever to try and distract me.
Okay, cool.
Just like a little flame on my fingertips.
Yeah, so you're just sort of doing that, and the way that works is that it's you're maintaining an action, and you can only do two things at once. So you're basically moving and you're playing with fire, and that helps. You're distracting yourself and staying calm. Um, Eventually, as you guys are walking, there's sort of a maintenance tunnel that has a door. Um, and Albatross, you feel almost like a magnetic push against you. Like the earth spirits are just very unhappy.
Hmm. Okay, I noticed that he's sort of shocked and taken aback by something, and I asked him what's wrong. What's wrong, Albatross?
The earth is not very well around this gate. It's trying to tell me that something's going on.
Okay. So, is it advising caution or is it asking for help?
It seems like a little bit of both. It just seems like the earth is in pain in this area. So that could mean something dangerous is happening, but it could also mean that he's trying to destroy the place here. That's why the earth is in pain.
This,
Okay.
well, I have like, the architectural engineering stuff.
Sure.
Does that translate from like not just buildings, but like metro areas as well?
Yeah, you would have an understanding of the way metro areas are constructed.
So say maybe like this place is located near like a cemetery or some odd place that could contribute to this like feeling.
No, but you do realize that like you're stopped outside the door to a maintenance tunnel, and from your knowledge of architecture, you realize that this maintenance tunnel makes no sense, right? Because maintenance tunnels are used to get maintenance people from the civilian areas to useful places, and this just goes into dead area. The subway doesn't go anywhere around there. Like it's not actually going anywhere. It doesn't make sense.
Unnatural. All right, so I'll tell my friends.
Yeah.
This shouldn't be here. Like this isn't supposed to be here. I don't know why this is here. Should we go ahead and open the door?
I think I'll listen in first. Okay. I'll listen in to the door. I think I have 3 points in heightened senses.
Yeah.
I'll put in 1 point of will so I can listen and maybe look through a keyhole if there is one, although usually there isn't one, I think.
Yeah, there would
So-
be a keyhole.
Okay. I'll do both then and put in 1 point of will so that my scouting can be more effective.
Sure. So that's a 4, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you look through the keyhole, or you don't look through the keyhole. You listen up against the door, and you hear footsteps and talking. You cannot make out any words. You can't make out. Like you can't really make out what's happening, but you hear 3 distinct tones of or 3 distinct voices, and you hear footsteps. So there are people down somewhere behind this door.
I can't tell the proximity or
They're not close. They're not like you're not gonna like open the door and they're right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, there's definitely someone behind this door. They're not gonna greet us if we open it, but there is someone behind this unnatural door that shouldn't exist.
Well,
So
there's like a possible chance of combat. You mentioned earlier, like we don't have our our warrior here, do we want to take this risk of going in?
Like, to be honest, I think I'm up for combat for sure. But the thing is, I have 5 will left.
Hmm.
I mean, I have a little bit of combat stuff, but I don't know. If you
We
guys
also
want to
have
go
our
in, I'd
weapons.
be okay with it. Yeah.
Well,
Or if you guys want to,
Albatross and I.
I'd be okay with either.
Well, what's our guarantee that when we get back, this ley line won't be dormant as well?
That's true. It could just go away. So we don't really have much of a choice to do anything but go in. If we wait any longer, there's a chance it just won't be here when we get back.
To be honest, we could just like, I know that in the past, both Jason and Henry have said that nobles can sort of detect magic. So I think that if we just sort of suppress ourselves, we can go in. I mean, you guys could do that, right? Just
Yeah, I should be able to. I wouldn't be able to
I think it
focus
would
on much
hurt me a
else
little
though.
bit.
I think I'd
Like
be
I'd be in a little bit of pain, but I should be able to do it.
I have stealth as a bond, well, as a skill, I guess. So I could go in and you guys could be my lifeline. I could just leave a tiny shadow person outside with you guys, and I'll just make it dance if I'm in trouble. And I'll just go in and scout.
I don't know if I'd be able to help too much because one of my bonds is I don't get distracted when focused. So I'd be focused on like making sure my power or any of my magic like goes through. So I'd be
And I just sort of imagined it would be very, very difficult for Albatross to go in since he's already very disturbed by what the earth is telling him.
Mhm.
Yeah, and for me to like hide my powers, that means I wouldn't be distracting myself either. So it just get worse for me to
Okay.
go.
And I do think Rem would be better if you came with me
Mhm.
because you'd just be able to focus on a lot of stuff and maybe tell me extra info that I wouldn't be able to like detect with my heightened senses or anything. So if Albatross doesn't mind, he can be our lifeline outside.
Yeah, I'll guard the entrance.
Yeah, we'll just like call Elijah or anyone if we were in trouble, and Rem and I will just go in and silently see what's happening.
Okie dokie. I'll open the
Okay.
door for you like a gentleman.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I walk in. To the
You go to open the door and it's locked.
Okay.
Man.
I saw that coming. I'm not going to lie. I saw that coming. Okay. Can I just send some shadow vines in to like dislodge the lock or something?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. 4 points would be enough, or 5 points. 5 points.
Yeah,
enough?
you could do 4 points, and it won't make that much noise, but it will break the lock. So like it won't be able to lock again without someone coming and fixing it and recoring it.
If I put 5 points in it, it's gonna be productive, but once again, not very effective, I guess. So I'll put.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean basically, without spending will, you could open it, but someone would probably realize that it's been tampered with if they came and checked.
Can I not like?
We have a lifeline though, so if they come to see
Yeah,
the
I'll be
lock
there
anyway,
and
it's gonna
check it. I can knock someone out with my bow or whatever.
Okay. Well, I still think better safe than sorry, so I'll put 2 points of will in it. Will that be enough?
Yeah. If you do that, you could just sort of, you would be able to just nudge open the lock without busting it.
Okay. I'll do that then.
And in fact, I'm going to apply your bond. I am prudent onto that as an additional point. So, because you're being so careful about this, so as a result, it's going to be something that like it's just unlocked and anyone else can use it. And you know how to lock it as well.
All right. Great. Shall we go in, Rem?
Yeah, I'm down. Let's go.
So how many points of will do you have left?
I should have 3 left.
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
I open the door for you. We enter. First thing we see.
All
I'm
right.
just looking. I have. How does it work if I spend points to be stealthy, since it's an ongoing thing?
It's just something that you would do ongoing.
Okay. 3 points in stealthy, just sort of trying to preserve my will just in case anything happens.
Yep. Yeah, so you open the door and you find yourself in a long tunnel. And I think I have...
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get a glass of water. I didn't get one before.
All right. Oh, okay. I saw that albatross.
So what?
What you said in chat.
Oh, yeah. Ha. Ha ha.
There we go. Yeah, so you open the door, you find yourself in a long tunnel. The walls are smooth, and it is kind of echoey, so you have to move very slowly. It is lit by fluorescent lights, so there's nowhere to hide yourself. So, in this case, stealth is just attempting to not make any noise. But if someone were to look down the tunnel, you would be clearly visible. And at the end of the tunnel is a small staircase.
Okay, and that's metal too, so yay for that.
Yeah.
So you just tiptoe slowly, very slowly. Just listening for any commotion. Rem, are you doing anything in particular?
I'd say
I'm
Rem
like-
is probably focused on not making noise.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm a good listener, but that doesn't really translate to like I can hear them from like 6 miles away. Kind of, I'm a good listener.
Actually, it does.
It
Bonds
does?
can be applied like that, yeah. Yeah.
So 2 meanings to it. Okay, that's actually gonna be really useful then.
Yep. Yeah, that's how that works.
I did not know that. That's actually pretty funny.
It is, yeah.
So I can be using that, but I have 2 points in that bond.
Yeah,
So if I-
so you
We
can
need
use
to, like,
that to
stop
add it
in
to
our
a skill
tracks.
check, basically.
Could you repeat that? I didn't catch that.
You can use it and add it to a skill check.
Okay.
So if you're trying to listen, you don't have any points in listening. But if you were trying to use hyper focus to listen, that would go up to 5, and then because you're a good listener, go up to 7.
Okay, so if I use that, I'm gonna be able to hear what they're saying. And...
Yes.
Yeah,
Alright.
we can stop in our tracks. I'm just going to we slowly make our way. I'm just relaying this to you. You can agree or disagree if you wanna. Basically, just slowly make our way to the staircase. Once we get there, I will check, sort of just peek my head over the edge because it's not a big staircase. I imagine I could just lift myself up and sort of look both ways.
Yeah.
Without going up the staircase. And if there's no one and we can approach further, then we can stop in our tracks and you can listen, just like Kret said.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the harm in just using my points right now because I already have 5 points in hyperfocus, so I wouldn't be using.
I was just thinking
extra.
closer to better, but okay, we can do that.
It'd be fine, like whatever distance I'm from, Kret, right? Or would
Well,
it
I
be,
mean, it depends on what you're trying to listen to, right? Like,
are we still able to hear them, like distinctly talk, or is it?
yeah, I mean, it's muffled. Like, they're definitely down here somewhere. But
Okay.
It was muffled for me with just the 3-point heightened senses thing.
yeah,
With
yeah.
the
So
pointer would be.
like, there's definitely people down here and talking. They seem to be at the end of the tunnel and to the left somewhere.
So then I don't see any harm in peeking our heads.
Yeah, no, they don't seem to be waiting at the end of the tunnel.
Okay, yeah, we can do that then.
Okay.
Down.
So
Tiptoe our way there, yeah.
So you get to the end of the tunnel and you climb this and you look up the stairs. It's clear. You climb the stairs and you're on top of this sort of a little ledge thingy in a dark and empty room. To your left, there's another door. It is brown with rust and grime. And the walls around you are slick black bricks. But aside from that door, this room is essentially empty. There's some boxes and refuse, but not much else.
I can we can like mess around with the boxes, open them up, see what's inside.
Yeah, they're just cardboard boxes. There's nothing in them.
Oh, okay. So like some storage place, it kind of seems like it is, or
Yeah. I mean, you don't really know what it is, 'cause, like, this still doesn't make sense, right? Like, why is this here? This is a maintenance tunnel that is not going to anything that maintenance cares about.
Okay.
is there any way we can still talk to Albatross to see if he's still getting like this weird feeling, and maybe it'll become stronger as he like delves into the maintenance tunnel?
I can make the tiny man just touch him. I can't do much with him since I didn't spend.
I mean, you
a
could
lot
go
of
back and
points.
get him.
Because it'd be helpful if he could kind of use the senses to say like it's getting darker, or like the feeling's just getting stronger, which means we're like going somewhere with it. We could do that, or we could just keep going in, or we could just keep walking too.
I don't think you'd be able to like keep up a steady pace. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd be able to keep a steady pace? We could go back and
I'd
ask
probably
him, but
be
it's
able
not that.
If you guys did do that, I'd probably be able to keep up, but I wouldn't be much help if anything happened.
Mhm.
Like I'd kind of just be there.
Okay, then we can just keep on going, keep on walking. But if there's just only boxes,
Yeah, so...
but we know for sure it's not dormant right now because we hear something. So
Right, yeah, there's definitely people down here, and as I said, to the left, there's a door. It is coated with rust and grime.
You don't want to listen yet? The 7-pointer?
yeah, I can.
Can we
Listen.
stop?
I could start using the 7-pointer then.
All right, you, so what, you're gonna, like, listen in the center of the room? Are you going up to the door? Where are you doing
I'm gonna go
this?
up to the door because that's probably where they are if they're not.
All right,
Go
you
from
put
there.
your ear to the door, and you use a 7-point listen, which is something really effective, moving you a lot closer to your goals. You listen to this door through this door, and you hear 3 distinctive voices. They're not really arguing. I'd say bantering is the way to describe it. There are 2 men. One with a deeper voice, that is he. I guess you would call it a lisp. Like he has some sort of speech impediment, right? Like he is not talking properly. You have one man who is has a more high pitched voice. And he speaks the most clearly of the 3 of them, and then there's a woman who speaks in a very sort of hoarse voice, but you can definitely tell that she is a woman. You hear these 3 people behind the door. They're also, moving around, walking, and yeah. One of them walks very heavily. The other 2 are walking fairly lightly.
Can I make out what they say, or just?
I mean, you can make out what they say, but it's nothing of importance, right? They're just like
Okay.
shooting the shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So, assuming one of them's really heavy, we have to assume like this guy's maybe pretty strong, and then the other 2 people being light, can
Mhm.
assume that they're not too strong either. But we can assume they're magical, right? Because they're inside this like odd maintenance tunnel, or they could just be maintenance
I
people
don't
as
know.
well. No clue.
I mean,
Okay.
listening
You can
is
assume
not.
whatever you want.
They're not like this one time when I cast a spell.
Yeah. Okay. So it'd be a 50-50 chance if we were to like knock on the door. Or maybe they're a little bit further in than just if we open the door, but
Yeah.
and we can't like per se win a fight, or our chances aren't like favorably in our favor. But we have nothing else to do but just go in. We can always take Albatross with us if there's going to be a fight. But
I could do something fancy if there's only 2 people. Since Craig just explained the whole applying bonds to skills thing.
mhm. We should do that then. Give it our best shot. Let's go in.
See, the thing
That's
is that I'm not sure how will works, but I'm pretty sure I'm about to faint. If I spend too much.
You do not have much will left.
I've got a ton of will left, but it's just not going to be very useful. All I have is chain whips and
Okay.
other stuff. So I think we should. But Albatross is also like pretty heavily affected by the environment. So in general, we're pretty weak, and if we were to go in, we were most likely not going to win anything if it comes to that combat scenario.
Well, what I wanted to do is sort of, I still have those bracers that
Mhm.
enhance my magical stuff. That don't affect anything, but I remember that I still have them. So basically what I want to do is use some shadow to 5 points to unhinge the door. I
Okay.
will apply the I am prudent to make it as quiet as possible.
Sure.
Can I apply I cannot fail?
No, you can only apply one bond.
Okay. So that would make it a 6-pointer.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to spend 2 more points of will,
Okay.
which should make it 8,
Sure.
so that it just goes as quick as possible. I don't know. Was he able to tell how big the room was?
It does sound very large. Like the voices are definitely echoing.
Are they close to each other? I know they're like walking around, but are they walking around each other? Because I imagine if it's very large, they'd have to be in close.
Yeah, they're
proximity
fairly close to each other.
Okay, just as soon as I see them, I want the vine to basically fly at them as quick as possible, and not pierce through them, but pick them up and bring them to me.
Okay, so your intention is to bust open the door, shoot out a vine, grab the first person you see, and pull them to you.
With an 8-pointer, yes.
Okay.
With their mouths muffled. The vine just...
Oh, you're trying to grab somebody. Oh, I see. Okay. So are you just sort of like opening the door and grabbing the first person you see, or are you like trying to assess the situation first?
Well, I don't have anything towards like slowing time so I can assess the situation, so I don't think that would be very good for my life.
So you're just gonna grab the first person you see, basically.
That would not be good for me.
If you're able to grab all of them, I should be able to we can interrogate them, and with my hyper focus, I can kind of tell if they're lying or if they're not lying. They're just
Yeah, but then the other person goes and brings the cavalry.
And you're only able to take like 1 or 2 people right now, not all 3.
Well, basically, I have 1 point of will left.
Yeah.
Well, you'll
And
have 3 if you
Chris
don't
said-
do this.
See, the thing is, like, that's why I was asking if they're in close proximity, because I would like the vine to just swoop both of them. If it's not able to grab them, then at least swoop both of them and like towards me, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
It wouldn't be that hard for it to encroach around them, but I mean, I don't imagine. But if you say it is, then just.
So the question is, are you gonna go ahead and do it or not?
I am gonna fucking go for it. Yes.
All right, you're gonna do it. So, you open the door, and oh wow, I totally forgot to move you guys to this tunnel. Here, look at that tunnel. You open the door,
Right.
and when you open the door, you see.
I basically would take a split second to assess the situation. If they're close enough to each other, I'm swooping them both. If not, I'm grabbing one of them.
Yeah. So yeah, you open the door and you see a large room. Um, Not as brightly lit as this, but essentially the same layout. So a large room with many, many pillars, dirt, dust, and grime all over the place. It's not well kept. In the center of the room, there are three, or in front of you, there are three people. One is a large hulking man, um, wearing a green vest. The two smaller ones, a man and a woman, both also wearing a green vest. Uh, you have an instant to choose which person do you grab. Who do you grab?
The woman.
All right, you grab the woman. The vine shoots out, like the door slams open. You look and see who it is. The vine shoots out and grabs her, wraps around her, and pulls her to you. She is right next to you. You recognize this woman as the woman that you fought outside of the city hall.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay. Um.
I walked
so-
in with you, right? So they see me
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, you're next door.
And I'm already like trying to assess the situation with my hyper focus, but there really isn't much I can do right now. So more dialogue is added.
Yeah, so this
Okay.
woman is in front of you. She is wrapped with a vine. What do you do?
Um. Okay. What are the other two doing? That just saw me. I just witnessed me.
The large one turns and starts running at you. You notice that the skin on his face is like half peeled off, and it's really gross. The smaller one is taking off his vest.
Okay, so obviously they're ready for combat. I'm just gonna use another 5-pointer of shadow to just make a wall where the door was.
Okay.
Or rather, I'm gonna use the 5-pointer to put the door back and seal it with my shadow magic.
Okay, so yeah, you sort of like slam the door shut and then cover it with a wall of shadow.
Yeah, the vine is still around the woman.
Yes.
I grab Rem by the hand and the vine with me, and I just get the fuck out of there.
Okay.
So we out.
Sure, you are running carrying this woman. A large tattoo on her back is starting to glow.
Okay.
Are you sure you want to take her with us? We know she's powerful, and do we have the means
Thank
necessary
you.
to take her?
I mean, if you guys can get out, I'll be there to help subdue her.
I make the man at the door dance so that Albatross knows that something's going on, and hopefully he just comes through the door to help us with this lady.
All right. Actually, the moment you slammed the door and covered it with shadow, that guy would cease to exist
Yes.
because that would be doing two things at
Okay.
once.
All right.
So that would probably notify Albatross.
Yes.
So
Alright.
Albatross,
So I will-
this guy like just disappears. What do you do?
I will use my bond. I'm a daredevil to just
Okay.
run in there gung ho.
All right.
Save them.
Yeah, you charge down the hallway fast as you can. You probably like also use wind elementalism just to push you a little bit faster. Just by creating
I think
like
I
a.
have a skill for running, so I'll use that.
Oh, you're gonna use that instead? Okay, what's your running skill?
The same. It's level 3, so it's one higher. So
Okay, it's
7
level
total
3,
hitting.
and then yeah, you would add your daredevil on top of that. So you just go shooting down this corridor,
I go Usain Bolt.
and you actually like basically like jump in 2 hops, just get to the top of the staircase, and skid to a stop, ready to go.
I just say knock her out. Knock her the fuck out.
Well, if she says that, I guess I'd probably use my magic ring or whatever to get my bow and just punch her in the face with it.
All right, so you just materialize
That's my
this
best
bow and punch her in the face with it.
Yeah.
My boy.
What skill are you using to do that?
I guess I could use my elementalism and use wind to kind of push it. And I'll
Okay.
use, if I really want to knock her the fuck out, I'll use 4 will as well.
Okay. Are you using wind or earth? Because I think they would both be applicable here.
I think wind to try and make it move faster.
Okay, sure.
It's
So
unpropelled.
you materialize the bow in your right hand. You summon wind, and it wraps around your fist, and you just punch her in the face, dropping 4 points of will on it, and the light that was glowing from her tattoo just goes out, and she's unconscious. At the door, there are like big fists, sort of like man, it's sort of like the shadow is like someone punching a screen of like fabric or something, right? Like you can see fists like coming through it. We're gonna take our first break here, and we'll come back in about 5 minutes and see what happens. So stay tuned.
Ooh.